Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Before we go to the editorial analysis, I would like to talk about the enrichment part. What are you going to learn today? Today, not too many words, surprisingly, 6 or 7 words. Some of these words are quite familiar. And what are these words? Virtue. Generally, we talk about virtues and vices of a person. Steep, skepticism, uptake, drastic. And today, from when it comes to practice questions, you're going to work on error location, phrase replacement, fillers, and idioms. As usual, editorial words. Let us go to the editorial and see how it starts. It starts with a statement, a short statement, the virtue of consistency. Before you try to understand, you have to know the meaning of the word virtue. Virtue here, singular form, it's a noun. It can be used in the plural form. Then we use the term virtues. So, what is the meaning of virtue? Behavior showing high moral standards. As I said, when we talk about a person, we talk about his virtues and vices. Virtues means good qualities, vices means bad qualities. Virtues and vices. So, virtue of consistency. What is here the word virtue, how it has been used? What does it go with? The key word over here, and based on this word, the entire editorial depends. That is the main theme of the editorial consistency. Virtue of consistency means what? Being consistent is going to be a good quality. It is going to help in the long run. This is the idea of the editorial. Let us go to the main idea, the sentence. India's focus must be on vaccinating a large number every day, not record highs. The editorial talks about two dimensions. One is consistency, and according to the editorial, that is what we have to think of, we have to look for. The other dimension, record highs. We should focus on consistency. We should not focus on record highs. It is something like one day you have 10 million doses, and next day you have 5 million. It is up and down, not consistent. It is not going to help in the long run. That is the main idea of the editorial. So, focus should be on vaccinating a large number every day consistently, not on record highs, one particular day 10 million, not that. To substantiate that statement, editorial provides some information, statistical data. On August 27, Friday, India set a new record for a single day's vaccination. What is that record? 10.7 million doses, up from 8.3 million vaccinations on the previous days, 2 days, and over 6.3 million doses on August 23rd, 24th. As I said, this editorial talks about two dimensions. On the one hand, it talks about the consistency which is required, and on the other hand, it talks about the record high on a particular day, which is not advisable according to the stand taken by the editorial. And to substantiate the data, what is the data? On August 27th, Friday, India set a new record for a single day's vaccination. What is that record? 10.7 million doses on a single day, up from 8.3 million vaccinations on the previous 2 days and over 6.3 million doses on August 23rd, 24th. However, usually writers, they make a statement, they provide information. Immediately, they try to provide contrasting information. How do we express contrast in English? Using words like however, though, although, but. However, on Saturday, the numbers dropped sharply to 7.9 million. 10 point something dropped immediately to 7.9 million. It shows that there's no consistency. 3.4 million doses were administered on August 29th, but Sundays have always registered low numbers. Where is 10 point plus and where is 3.4? It talks about the very next day what happened. On Saturday, 7.9 million, and Sunday, further down, 3.4 million. But usually on Sundays, the number is low. A similar pattern was seen on June 21st. 8.7 million doses on a single day, which dropped to 5.8 million the next day. Immediately, the number came down and remained nearly stable at over 6 million for a week. The number of doses administered fell to 3 million to 4 million doses in the first half of July. So one day it goes up, after that comes down and stays there, again it goes up. It only shows that it is quite obvious that it is not consistent. And it also shows that on a particular day it is a record high, and after that it goes down steeply. Based on that, this editorial has been written. There is no consistency. Focus should be on consistency. That is going to be a virtue when it comes to vaccination. Today's editorial very easy to understand. You don't come across a lot of words, and sentences are very simple. The June 21st record appeared more to coincide with the day when the revised COVID-19 vaccination strategy came into effect. At some point, the center took a different stand, and it declared it would procure 75% of the vaccines produced and supplied them to states for free. Based on that, what happened? That could be the reason. The June 21st record appeared more to coincide with the day when the revised COVID-19 vaccination strategy came into effect. What is that revised vaccination strategy taken by the center? The government procured 75% of the vaccines produced and supplied them to states for free. Till that time, it was the state's responsibility, but the center took a different stand. Though the record on August 27 does not coincide with any occasion, now it comes back to August 27. There are some words I'm going to tell. Though the record on August 27 does not coincide with any occasion, it does suggest emphatic expression. It suggests casual, it does suggest emphatic, that the intent was more to achieve a momentous feat of crossing the 10 million mark. So it does not coincide with any occasion, but it does suggest, it strongly suggests that the intention was more to achieve a momentous feat of crossing the 10 million mark. That means looking at the record highs. The steep fall in vaccination the very next day, again the same pattern, going up and coming down, going up and coming down. The steep fall in vaccination the very next day gives rise to skepticism. There are two words over here. One is steep, not reasonable, excessive. Another meaning of the word steep, sharp. Usually it goes with valleys, mountains. Steep rise means not reasonable, excessive, and also sharp. Another word, skepticism. We use the noun form of this. This is also a noun form, but a person. Some people doubt everything. When we talk about a person who doubts everything, we use the word skeptic. He is a skeptic, doubtful. So, skepticism is also a noun, but it doesn't go with persons. It goes with the concept, abstract. Doubt as to the truth of something, whether something is true or not. During the pandemic, the focus should not be on. Now, the editorial talks about the main idea, a reiteration. During the pandemic, the focus should not be on setting records. We don't achieve anything. We try to focus on records, but on consistently vaccinating a large number of people daily and ensuring that vaccines are available at all centers every day. Uncertainty in vaccine availability does not help in increasing uptake, especially among the poor. There are two sentences, both talk about, they reiterate, emphasize the main idea of the editorial. Focus should not be on records, it should be on consistency. During the pandemic, the focus should not be on setting records, but on consistently vaccinating a large number of people daily and ensuring that vaccines are available at all centers every day. If vaccines are available, only then we can administer. Uncertainty in vaccine availability. What will be the impact of uncertainty when it comes to vaccine availability? Does not help in increasing uptake, especially among the poor. There's one word over here, uptake, making use of something that is available. So, vaccines are not available, it is not going to increase uptake, especially among the poor. With vaccination being a safe and sure way to drastically cut the risk of hospitalization due to severe COVID-19 disease and death, effort should be to quickly and consistently vaccinate large numbers each day. Again, reiteration of the same idea. The impact of the vaccine, the impact of the virus, with vaccination being a safe against the virus, what is the best bet? Vaccination. And also following certain norms related to social behavior, with vaccination being a safe and sure way to drastically cut. Drastic means severe, severely or seriously. The risk of hospitalization due to severe COVID 19 disease and death. Effort should be to quickly and consistently vaccinate large numbers each day. The word consistently has been used throughout the editorial consistently. For this, what is required? Equitable and a regular supply of a large number of doses to all states is needed. How can we make sure the people receive vaccines regularly and consistently? Supply is required. For this, equitable, it should be distributed equally. Equitable and a regular supply of a large number of doses to all states is needed. One sure way to increase the number of daily doses is when the government procures 100%. Now the government procures 75%. The editorial says to make sure we reach all the segments of the society and there is consistency, it comes up with a particular idea. What is it? One sure way to increase the number of daily doses is when the government procures 100% of vaccines produced with no separate allocation to private hospitals. Now, what is the present scenario? It is 75% the government procures and 25% allocation to the private hospitals. We should not go with that pattern, the editorial says. Precious time. What is the reason for that? Precious time and doses were wasted between May and July 15, when private hospitals utilized only 7 to 9% of vaccines produced against an allotment of 25%. Of the 100%, 75% taken by the government and 25% allotted to the private hospitals. Between May and July, what happened? The private hospitals, though they were allotted 25%, they utilized only 7 to 9%. Let us take on the higher side 10% out of 25%. 15% they were not utilized, produced against an allotment of 25%. The government has belatedly revised the June 7 policy, belatedly at a later stage after a particular date. The government has belatedly revised the June 7 policy such that manufacturers will not set aside 25%. Now, manufacturers will not keep aside or set aside 25% of vaccines produced for private hospitals, but instead, so what are they going to do? They're not going to set 25% aside for the private hospitals. What are they going to do? Instead, supply as per demand and allot the remaining to the government. Imagine the demand from the private hospitals 15%, they give 15%, 85% to the government. If the demand is only 7%, 93% to the government. That sounds more practical and nothing goes waste, neither time nor vaccines efforts. If the rationale, here there's an important word, rationale means what? A set of reasons or logical basis for a course of action or belief. The reason behind, the justification behind. If the rationale for allowing the manufacturers to sell vaccines to private hospitals at a higher price was to fund vaccine research. Now, to the government, they have to sell at a lower price, to private hospitals at a higher price. What is the reason behind? What is the justification? Private hospitals, they can afford. If these manufacturers sell at a higher price to the private hospitals, they make money, and that money can be used for to fund vaccine research. That was the idea behind. But the small uptake by the private hospitals does not meet that objective. Imagine 25% allotted, only 7% utilized, and remaining that it doesn't, they cannot get money or they cannot get funds. It doesn't serve the purpose. It does not meet that objective beyond any doubt. Hence, then what is the government supposed to do? Hence, the government should procure all the vaccines produced, as this will help in better vaccine allotment to states, reduce vaccine inequity, and increase uptake, and states can plan daily vaccination strategies in a more organized manner. So, what is the solution here? How does the editorial end? The government should procure. Procure means obtain. Someone has already written procure, obtain, especially with care or effort. Usually, big companies they procure the materials. There's a separate department for that, and obtain is a one single word you can think of. All the vaccines produced as this will help. Why should the government procure all the vaccines 100%? As this will help in better vaccine allotment to states, one thing, reduce vaccine inequity, another thing, and increase uptake, which is very important. And states can plan daily vaccination strategies in a more organized manner. Everything can be streamlined, and based on that, we can go in for consistency. That is the main idea of the editorial, and we don't have to focus on the record highs. That's all about the editorial. An easy one, not too many words, simple sentences. Let us have a look at. I think because of that, I could do it in 16 minutes. Not usually takes 20 to 25 minutes, but 16 minutes. Everything looks familiar. What is this editorial about? What suggests that the intent was more to achieve a momentous feat? Keywords you can locate the answer. In the context of the editorial, what gives rise to skepticism? What is the key word over here? Skepticism. What does not help in increasing uptake? Something does not help in increasing uptake. What is that? What were the implications of private hospitals utilizing only 7 to 9% of vaccines? At one point, the editorial says the private hospitals, instead of the allotted 25%, they used only 7 to 9%. What were the implications? Implications, the consequences of private hospitals utilizing only 7 to 9% of vaccines. Again, easy to answer based on the keywords. Now let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. Please, the first 5 questions, error location, and all these are from previous year's papers, mind you guys. So you get an idea, the standards, easy, difficult. The editorial is about India must focus on vaccination in a large number, but not on high records or huge records. Good. Please try to spot the error. Question number 1. Doubtful, dubious. Yes, Vasu, you're right. Collapsed. An easy one, Shalini has already answered. One student answers, I will give the answer. Despite having been inspected, it is in passive voice, having been inspected. Despite, you should think of the wrong combination. Despite of, not correct. Despite never takes the preposition of. In spite of and despite. Having been inspected, someone has inspected, having been inspected, and pronounced the safe earlier. The century old bridge. Here the context talks about past. Based on that, we cannot say collapse. We have to say collapsed after a train went across it. Collapsed. That is the right word. And context is past context. We cannot use a verb in present form. I think almost all the students have got it right. That's wonderful. Please go to the next question. The study published last year revealed that the use of body cameras has resulted in sharply dropping false complaints against the police. Sometimes I see questions from previous year's papers, very easy. I really wonder to what the author, I doubt the authenticity of these questions. Question 1 is over. Please go to question number 2. Yes, that's right. Who is this? Vishnu Vardhan. It is better. When you do that, you can remember. You will be able to remember. Had resulted. Devi has got it right. And who else? Here, the study published, verb is in the past, last year, context, time in the past, revealed, disclosed that the use of body cameras we cannot use has resulted. The context goes into the past, and we cannot use present perfect. Already time is also there. Based on that, the study published last year revealed that the use of body cameras had resulted in sharply dropping false complaints against the police. Because there is a verb in the past, it should be in past perfect. Based on that, has is not correct. Had resulted. Which tense is this? Past perfect. Past perfect. That's right. Had resulted. Past perfect tense. Please go to question number 3. I think this one also many students have got it right. At present, when urban planners try to understand the patterns of activity in a district, they do it by conducting surveys. This is a bit difficult. First two are very easy. No response. Easy one. But to some extent, it is difficult. No, 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 no. No one has got it right. Perhaps a tough question. At present, nothing wrong. It's a phrase. When urban planners, nothing wrong, try to understand the patterns, again, nothing wrong, of activity in a district, they do it by conducting surveys. In a district, it is not one activity, it should be activities. Activities, not one activity, many activities. At present, when urban planners try to understand the patterns of activities in a district, they do it by conducting surveys, not activity. The noun should be in the plural form. What is this question about? Word form. No one has got it. Now I see Sai, Arvind, Shalini, they say activities. Go to question number 4. Just over a year ago, policymakers were worried about China's tumbling stock markets, but now it is China's property market that causing worries at home and abroad. Good morning, Sudhir K. A little late, halfway through. Question of the day, Vishnuvardhan. Taken aback? Hmm. All these are questions from previous year's papers. You can assess your standards. Where is the error? Stock market? No, no. Was. Policymakers were worried. Nothing wrong with that. But now there's a clue for you. The word now goes with which tense? Just answer the question. The word now, at the moment, and also right now, these days, nowadays, goes with present continuous tense. Based on that, but now it is China's property market that is causing worries at home and abroad. Now is there, so it should be in present continuous. Based on the question is related to present continuous. And what is a clue for you? Adverb of time now. That is causing worries at home. Question number 5, a lengthy sentence. Typical measures that schools employ to boost results include putting the best teachers in charge of students whom are about to take tests and cutting the time devoted to activities unrelated to exams. This is an easy one, should not be a problem. One reading you should be able to. Second part, nothing wrong with the second part. Not easy. Yes, Shalini, first one to respond. It is not whom. Students who are about to take tests, they are about to take. Here it is about the subject. Then we cannot use the word whom, it should be who are about to take. Who are about to take. They are about to take. Always remember if the question is about or the clause is about the subject, use who. If it is about the object, use whom. Now, has anyone got all the five correct? The next five questions are based on phrase improvement. The wholesale price index have remained negative for the last 11 months before it broke the trend and surged. Surge means sudden forward movement, one meaning. Sudden increase, another meaning. Vishnuvardhan says 4 out of 5. That's good enough. One or two must have troubled. 4 is good. Yakub, Bhavana, okay. Naresh, oh, Naresh, you are there. 3. These are questions from previous year's papers. So you can assess your standards. 1 4. What is the subject here? The wholesale price index, third person singular. This is an important word. When it comes to the plural, indices or indexes, but generally indices. So index singular, have cannot be used. For the last 11 months, this is a clue for you. Usually this expression goes with present perfect or present perfect continuous. We cannot use past perfect. No, no. What is the answer? Has remained negatively. Oh, no, no, no. Answer is here index negatively cannot be used. Remains no. Would no. What is the answer here? The first option is the answer. And there's one more clue for you. What is that clue? The conjunction before. It broke. There are two clauses here. First one, first action, second action. For the first action, we should use past perfect, and the second action, past tense. It goes with the same pattern. And also the clue for you, before. We should use past perfect before the word before. Beyond any doubt, answer is the first option, not the fourth option. Had remained negative. You got it? Okay. No one knew what he had been up to all this while. All is not there, had been up to. One should be in past perfect, the other should be in past. You got it right. Very good. Very good. Vasu also. Tirupati Rao. That's wonderful. What is the answer for question number 2? Praise improvement. Had got to do. Naga Malleshwari, first one to answer. She got it right. Only one. After that, I see Asha. Answer is no correction required. Only two students could get it right. You don't have to touch the sentence. No one knew what he had been up to. What are you up to? Generally, we say, what are you up to? So, up to is a clue for you. You cannot use went up to. You cannot use was out into, had been to, and had got to do. Not grammatically correct. Answer is the sentence is grammatically, contextually perfect, flawless. No one knew what he had been up to all this while. Very good. I appreciate those students who chose the fifth option, no correction required. Not easy. They had been walking all night for the semester exams and will not wake up till the afternoon. Will not wake up. This is an easy one, should not be that difficult. What are you up to? Don't separate up to. Here, the idea, what are you up to, means what are you doing? What are you thinking? What are your plans? Someone is trying to do something, someone is thinking, no action, and then we wonder what is he doing? We ask the question, what are you up to? What is your plan? What is your idea? What are you going to do? That's what it means. Raghu, have you got it? Third one, awake all night, will not wake up till, see, try to understand the context. They had been waking all night. Oh, here I think this is not. They had been waking all night. I read it as walking. No, no. They had been awake all night. Answer is a fourth option, not third question, fourth option. Many students have got it right. Very good. Here, your focus should be on they had been awake all night for the semester exams. Because of that, will not wake up till the afternoon. Fourth option is the answer. Perfect. Many students have got it right. Fourth option. This is rather easy. Based on your grammar knowledge, be awake all night. Be awake all night. Night out, usually. Conversation English, we say night out. Some questions you can use your grammar knowledge and you can easily find out. This question is purely based on grammar knowledge. One reading you should be able to. Answer my question, what is the subject here? The government. Government, collective noun, it always takes a singular verb, never a plural verb, with the division also. Have is not correct. Have is ruled out. Is pushing forward. The government is pushing forward. Hold that one. The excise duty has been pushing up. The excise duty pushes up. No. Has been pushing up. Here it should be the third option. Yes, I think almost all the students have got it right. Not correct. Pushing forward, pushing up. We cannot change the tense. Fiscal conservatives overlook the fact that less growing and low levels of job creation reinforce one another. This is also an easy one based on your grammar knowledge. Do remember, some questions are based on grammar knowledge, some questions are based on contextual awareness. Grammar knowledge based questions, damn easy. Context based questions, very difficult for many candidates. Not passive voice. Are you talking about the previous question? They have been pushing up, has been pushing up. Present perfect, active voice, not passive voice. The government has been doing something. I see Naik has answered the last question. Fiscal conservatives overlook the fact that less growing and low levels, two factors of job creation, reinforce one another. Where is the error, or which part has to be? Slow growth and low levels of job creation reinforce one another. Overlook the fact that slow growth, less growing, grammatically not correct. Slow growth. But here there is another problem. What is the other problem here? Another mistake, I mean. Answer is the fourth option, that slow growth and low levels of job creation reinforce. Is it one another or each other? We are talking about two things. We cannot use one another, we have to use each other. Two persons are two things, each other more than two, one another. But based on the question, answer is the fourth option. Perfect. Double fillers. Now let us go to double fillers. Should not be that difficult. Most rickshaw pullers, rickshaw drivers, auto rickshaw drivers in the city to ply. Ply goes with buses, taxis, autos. Remember the verb ply. Yes, yes, each other. Double fillers, most rickshaw drivers in the city, auto rickshaw drivers. Oh, three, all the five. Good. Four is also good. One third option. Disagree. No, no, third option is not correct. Answer is the first option. Most auto rickshaw drivers in the city refuse to ply for short distances. What is the reason? Since doing so does not earn them much, they cannot earn much. Agree does not go with the idea, disagree doesn't go with the idea, accept, no, ask. Only one option stands out, second option. Contextually grammatical, grammar based. Though surprising, yes. Please go to question number two. No response. Second option. Here, though surprising, it talks about though, although, however, despite all these express contrast. Though surprising, it is that Rupesh hasn't got the job by of his parents' political connections. That means what? He has got the job on his own, on his merit, based on his talent. Veracious influence. How come you guys have chosen the answer? Should be the fourth option. Though surprising, it is true that Rupesh hasn't got the job by virtue of his parents' political connections. On what basis? A veracious and because of the word influence? No, no, no. You haven't understood the context. That Mohan says the fourth option. Please understand the context. Though surprising, it is true. We are surprised, but it's a fact. Though surprising, it is true. We cannot use the word veritable, veracious, paradoxical, alleged. It goes with everyday context. Though surprising, it is true. What is true? That Rupesh hasn't got the job by virtue of his parents' political connections. That means what? He has got the job based on his merit. Where is the fifth option? Though surprising, it is alleged that Rupesh hasn't got the job by power of, we cannot use the word power, and it doesn't go with the idea. That's what I'm talking about, Naresh, Nagamalleshwari or Nagamani. First, you have to understand the context. What is the context? What does it talk about? Rupesh, his parents have political connections. When someone's parents they have political connections, it is obvious that the person gets the job based on the connections. But this talks about Though the parents they have the political connections, this boy got the job not because of the political connections, based on his merit. And this is surprising, and it is true. Simple. The problem here, no one has got it right except a few, I suppose. That's good, Vishnuvardhan. Understand the context. Everything cannot be answered based on grammar knowledge. This is what I've been telling you guys. First, you read the sentence, understand the context, then you go for the options. Veracious related to truth, related to truth. That's why it is said true, Tirupati Rao. Because it talks about contrast, he hasn't got the job because of his parents or parents' political connections. He has got the job based on his merit. That is a contrast. You could not understand the context, many of you. Honest, truthfully related to truth. In order to avoid traffic, felicitated in the building, that is too formal a word, in order to avoid congestion. In order to avoid congestion, because of what? Due to car parking, appropriate signage and painted boundary strips at parking locations have been provided in the building premises. Answer is the third option, not felicitated. This doesn't go with the context. Many students get confused between felicitation and facilitation. Facilitate means to provide. HR managers, they are facilitators. Felicitation goes with someone gets success, then they are felicitated. This word does not go with the context at all, out of context, irrelevant, in fact. Question number three, second option, the word felicitated is completely out of context. Facilitated would have been better. Still a formal word. Felicitation, you all know the word felicitation. Felicitation, that is different. Facilitated, different. Congratulate. Answer is the third option, beyond any doubt. It is felicitated here. We cannot use the word felicitated over here. During power cuts, one can never get out of context. Felicitation, question number three, the word is completely out of context. During power cuts, one can never get, a bit difficult, across, through, over, along, off, any of these words, possibility. To the customer service executive, to a complaint. This is a clue for you. Yes, that's right. Complaint. Write a complaint, dictate ruled out, create ruled out, file you can consider, write. Now you have to decide which is the best option. Get across to the customer service executive to lodge a complaint seems right. And here, through, get through, to write a complaint. Right cannot be used here. Get off cannot be used here. What is the answer based on that? First option is the answer, not the fifth option. Get off to the customer. You cannot use off in this context. No, 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 no. That is not correct. It is the first option. Get across. In the olden days, shopkeepers used to dupe the customers by attaching removable magnetic weights. They're weighing instruments. This is easy, not that difficult. Fourth one is over. Please go to the fifth one. The previous question, three clues. file a complaint, lodge a complaint, write a complaint. Usually we don't use write, leave it, keep it aside. Lodge a complaint, file a complaint. But you cannot use off. Based on that, the first option. In the olden days, shopkeepers used to dupe the cheating cannot be used here. Customers, noun. Before that, you need an adjective. Strict does not go with the context. Docile. Docile means easy to control, easy to tame. It goes with animals, persons also, but doesn't go with this context. Innocent customers. That seems right. And by attaching removable magnetic weights where under the weighing instrument seems right. Lovely customers. Answer is the fourth option, obviously. Docile, submissive, easy to tame, easy to control. Now let us go to idioms. Again, today the idioms are not that easy, to some extent difficult. If you get all the five correct idioms, you're outstanding. Four, who is this? Bhavesh. Yes, of course, you're right, Naresh. Typically done by the ration dealers, typical practice. All the five correct, wonderful. Even today, many fruit sellers indulge in the same practice. Easy way to take in customers. A wonderful, Madhav. Indulge in the same practice. What is the answer? All thumbs. Students have started responding. Fraudulent means ABC. That's also a good expression. Permission from the concerned people to go ahead, not correct. A crowd cheering their favorite team, not correct. Physically awkward, especially with respect to the hands. So this is the answer. An illiterate person who cannot sign his name. No one has got it right so far. No one has got it right. That's why I said today the idioms are not that easy. Answer is the third option. All thumbs means physically awkward, especially with respect to the hands. With respect to the hands, physically awkward. Then it is not in your court. The ball is not in your court. Who is this? Nirmala. Let's crack it. Please go to question number two, idioms. A red rag to a bull. Rag means a piece of cloth. This is also not that easy. Let's see how you guys are going to get it. Question number two, idioms. A red rag to a bull. You have to go to all the options. Keep answering. Based on the context, you guys must have guessed. A red rag to a bull. An object, utterance, or act which is certain to provoke someone. Answer is the second option. Many students have got it right. Today's idioms are not a piece of cake. Please go to. This goes with everyday English, not that difficult, should be easy. A bad patch, a potholed road, they should have been separated. A medical bandage, a period of difficulty, shoddy repair work. Shoddy means not up to the mark. Third rate. Provoke, yes, Pritham, you're right. Now, what is the answer for the third one? Oh, that's good, Yakub. Now, the views also, the number is has been going up. Third option, very good. This goes with everyday English. We say someone is suffering or not able to get success. and not able to do well, then we say, he has been going through a bad patch. She has been go through a bad patch. Remember the expression, a period of difficulty. You guys got it right? This is an important one, has been given in many competitive exams, especially SBI. A dime a dozen. What does it mean? Today, if someone says, I got all the five idioms correct, that will be a pleasant surprise. Question number four, a dime a dozen. Oh, Kohli is presently going through a bad patch. Good example, practical. People can relate to that example. Rough patch, bad patch, yes. Fourth one, second option. No, no. Very common and of no particular value. Answer is the fourth option. Not the second, not the third, not the first. Yes, Madhav has got it right. After that, I see Yadav has got it right. And Naresh also, Pritham, very good. Let us go to the last one. Tie the knot. You all should know this, all youngsters. Tie the knot. You can use sooner or later. Once you get selected, you get the selection. You are going to do this, I'm sure. Many of you. Tie the knot, but there is no context. That way, it could be a little difficult, very common, and of no particular value. Yes, that's right. Please go to the last question related to idioms. Get married, yes. Tie the knot means what? To get married. He is going to tie the knot. She is going to tie the knot. Means they're going to get married. Easy one goes with everyday English. As I said, today's editorial very easy, simple sentences. Words are very easy and known words. So I could get only 7, not 10. Usually we get 10 plus. Out of that, I get 10. Has anyone got all the 5 idioms correct? Oh, you got it. That's why you're smiling. Virtue, part 4. 4 is also good. 4, you should be very happy. 3, 4, good enough. Universal clue you have given, sir. You guys are very sharp. That's why you could get it. Reading between the lines, you guys could get it. 3, 4, you should be happy. Now let us go to the last enrichment slide. They are nothing is expected. Like thriller movies, okay. Virtue, part of speech, noun. Virtues, plural form. Means what? High standards, good qualities. Virtue is a noun. Oh, you have gone to the fourth one. 1D. That's right. Virtue, virtues. Opposite, vice, vices. But vice captain, a different meaning. Steep means what? Sharp. Hmm. Steep adjective. Steep valleys, steep mountains. Skepticism. Skeptic, he is a skeptic. That's a noun. Skepticism is not a good thing. That is also a noun. Skepticism, doubt something, the veracity of something. B. Uptake, verb. It could be a noun in this editorial used as a noun. The uptake. What does it mean? Make use of. Make use of. Drastic changes, adjective. Drastically used in the editorial, adverb. Drastic changes. Yes, yes, that is true. People will be after you. The most sought after, the most eligible bachelor you become. Drastic means what? Where is this? Severe. A is the answer. And this is a noun, rationale, means what? Reason, reasons for justification. Procure is a verb. Procurement, noun. Procure means obtain. This is what happens. Initially, when you start reading the editorial, you may come across 15 words, the meanings of which you may not know, and after that it comes down to 10, then 5. Eventually, one or two words trouble. This is going to happen sooner or later. It is always progressive. You guys are enjoying, looks like that. That's all from today's editorial. Thanks for being with me till 7:56. Have a nice day, and do remember to subscribe and share. There's a Telegram group. All that you have to do, click on the link. After that, don't do anything. You cannot do also. And after the session, I'll provide the PDF. Try to work